Our house stick, the first generation house stick. Give me that shit.
What's the blend of the first generation house stick? Someone might ask.
That's a good question.
You're the one that did the damn thing.
It's a 4-year-old Nicaraguan wrapper, a Cubra binder, and then
What is that? Don't assume.
Oh, it is a Cuban-Brazilian hybrid, which means it's nutty and it's smooth and it's tasty and
God, that sounds like you just described our family.
right,
Nutty, smooth, and tasty.
and tasty. Look at deal is actually working, which I call bullshit on.
Yeah,
that.
I call bullshit.
Yeah, I call bullshit on us working. But there's also Dominican in there. This is rolled by KBF Factory, which is also the creator of, or the producer for Principal Cigars, which this is kind of our first
So
project.
these are Gen 1, didn't have the footband around it.
Yep,
First ones.
Big thanks to Jake Powell.
So
Jake Powell.
when did these come out? I can't remember what the date.
Year ago,
Was that it?
right?
Sounds very certain. It was
JP made it sound like it was a year
March. Yeah, I think it was late March last year.
Yeah.
It's only been a year.
Nate, what you tasting?
Man, that's a lot creamier.
This
now.
is like,
Talk up.
hey, this is like unicorn wings meets
Cream soda.
cream
Taste that.
soda.
You dig? Ooh, that is tasty. What is the size of this? It is a size that only exists in this exact cigar, which is a pyramid, we'll call it for lack of better terms. But it's actually, what is it? Was Davidoff's
It's a Davidoff
mold.
It was a Davidoff mold.
that they threw away because it was 1 millimeter off. They never used it, being KBF.
Right.
We used it.
So Henrik Kellner Jr., who blended this piece of magic, his father is the master blender for Davidoff. Mm-hmm. His little factory. What's crazy is Darren was talking about, Darren, the owner of Principal Cigars, was talking about how Henrik has maybe more tobacco than virtually any of the other factories. It's just a lot of small batches of really rare stuff. He's got more tobacco than anybody. It's just
Interesting.
little,
Yeah.
where a lot of these guys are just sitting with, remember Drew Estates when we were at the factories, just rows and rows and rows of the same old stuff.
And people climbing around everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
How
that's
can everybody hear us okay on this? I want to make sure we're picking up all right because we have really compelling shit to be talking
A
about.
lot of compellment.
That's
Compellment.
exact.
A lot of compellment.
So, because you are the main process behind actually getting the stuff and communicating with them, and you've seen stuff behind Crux. What was the difference between, going and seeing how Crux does a blend versus how Henrik and
That's actually a really good question. So when Crux Cigars goes and makes a blend, they get to go to Plasencia Factory in Nicaragua and then go past doors that most people don't get to go behind. So they go to this room, which is special, the next room, which is even more special, and then you get to kind of family reserve stuff. For Principal, all of their stuff is like that special reserve.
Okay.
So the KBF works with such small quantities of each individual exotic tobacco that everything you're messing with is going to be awesome. And not that the Plasencia stuff isn't awesome, it's just, I think being Nicaraguan farmers, they have more access to Nicaraguan tobacco versus these guys, which source from a lot of different places, have some different blends that they get to work with.
And maybe you can tell us a story. When you were in Switzerland, you met with the Reyes family, correct?
Reyes.
And they do something in particular with their Kellners and
Yeah.
particularly with Patoro, because that's why you were.
Yeah, KBF. So Familia Reyes. For those of you kind of just tuning in here, this is Industrial Cigar Company. These are the Frakes Boys. That is
Andrew.
That is
Pops.
that is
Nathan.
that is
Brandon. Ollie's
and
husband.
We have absolutely no script to this conversation, but we're hoping so.
Which is a big difference from our Saturday show,
Yeah.
where we have a massive script.
big script.
Big script.
Huge script. But I figured we always talked about just having a shop that we could sit and smoke cigars at and with a bunch of people, but we can't do it with as many people right now.
Right. Which, by the way, this just did sucks. And for those of you who've been sending me personal texts and everything, man, I feel your pain. I understand. There's a lot of people that are sitting in backyards taking pictures in front of their cigar that they obviously bought from us because of the brands, Adabase, Byron's, Toro, stuff like that. And they're taking a picture in front of their drink, and they're going, "This is not the same as being there."
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people jonesing right now to get back and hang out with their buddies.
Yeah. Nate, what are you looking forward to most getting back to normalcy?
Just the day-to-day routine is a completely different thing. I mean, it was great to have this little time to fix up everything for everybody and get all the new stuff done and new paint, but now it's just got a brand new facelift, so it'd be nice for everybody to kind of enjoy it again like it was new.
It really has that feel of like the day before Christmas Eve when you have all the presents under the tree and you want to get the gifts out early. We know the amount of time that's been spent painting every square inch, actually making the shop fresher than it was the day we opened it. Mm-hmm. And it's like that present we just want to make sure that everybody can open right now, but we can't. Although the good news is it appears that Abbott during today's press conference started talking about getting small businesses back to business.
We'll see.
So,
We'll see what happens. We looks like we got a handful on here now, so we appreciate you all taking your time to do that. Give us a share if you wouldn't mind. Throw up a watch party. Let's see if we can bring this. Oliver was actually saying, I want to float this out there. What if on Thursday we did a little Zoom get together where it's kind of not necessarily as one-sided as this is?
Yeah,
but
no. I think that'd be
awesome.
fantastic.
We could Zoom it.
It'd be a night. It'd be like a night at the shop and let everybody just kind of hang out. We've done some with our own kind of our DG group. The ICC Distinguished Gentlemen's Group has done some of the Zoom conferences, and it's pretty cool. We have a good time doing it, but it would be nice to be able to tie one in with Oliver and have a good time and invite guys like Doug Heisler,
Kevin Hand, Ty Demery.
Kevin Hand.
So what we were talking about at the beginning is just this cigar and how unique it is and how it's kind of the thing's burning like razor sharp.
It's
but
perfect.
If we look back at where we were a year ago today, essentially when this came out, what's been your guys' favorite moments since the first time we did this, which was an 80s house party?
The 80s house party was pretty special. I think if we look back at last year, I think some of the highlights in the shop was really the introduction of bringing Busy Bee into the shop and bringing that DJ element in. I remember the first night we did it, after he and I sat and talked, and he's like, if I can play this music, because we were playing my playlist, if we can play this music, I'll play for free. Let's just come in and set up. So he came in and people are sitting in the lounge going, what's that guy doing? And he starts playing, and next thing you know, chairs are moving and people are up dancing. And then it was, when's he coming back? We're not going to tell you. You just got to. There was about 15 people here, and then by the miracle of texting and social media, this place was packed.
Yeah,
That's why I forgot we moved the furniture the first time.
Oh yeah, it was on, and then
remember Jay Scott was throwing down.
Jay Scott was.
I have the video of him doing that.
Was doing his stepping, and that's the point where I realized I pity
Tony Elias,
any defensive lineman that was trying to come across the line at that
I can still
guy.
see his footprint in the floor somewhere down here.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Tony in the house, Jacob Landers in the house.
Jacob, a little
from Omaha. That's my
touch
man.
upstairs, up north.
Up north. Drew, what's been kind of your favorite thing over the past year?
I think my favorite thing was the Smoke Shop magazine party. That probably meant the
awesome.
most to me to see. We always have parties and everyone always says something super nice, but it was really warming to see how everyone came together. And
Do you know what was ironic about that party too is the next morning we've got this whole deal that's going on and no one sees this behind the scenes, but I show up and something's there and I just send some shitty message to the group. I was like, why is this not like this? And we just got after each other. Like, well, fuck it. And it started going, and then it just turned into it was cool because at that moment we saw it was a family business.
Well,
because
so
we all came back together.
That's the adult version of what we used to do as kids, except for we used to have a fist fight that would end out in the front yard somehow, and then now we just have little
Or
tiny
shoe in
text
the wall.
messages that are
For
stupid.
shoe in the wall.
Yeah.
Or Nathan.
Yeah.
That was pinpoint
just
accuracy
dead-
right there.
Dead daggered his flip flop right through the drywall.
You know what? Doug's favorite memory over the past year was watching Anthony's 40-yard dash in the back.
Oh, I forgot about
That was Anthony Hoskins convinced
dress
he could go
shoes?
run a sub 4 second
Sub
in
five.
dress or sub 5 second 40 in dress shoes.
I've seen that challenge be put out once before that ended with violence. He showed up.
Not here.
He did.
Not
Not
here.
Not here.
Not here.
Not here. At another shop. And he showed up, put on someone else's shoes, ran it with the tie on it. He ran a 5-1.
Yeah,
he was shooting
he
for
put
5.
It was solid.
shoes on
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it was
Well, I
solid.
just want to preface with, I think he said he could break 5.5 or 4.5. So he.
I think- yeah.
But then it creeped back up. And
Uh-huh.
but more impressive.
Still
than I thought it
very
was.
impressive.
Yeah, that
Don
was
Brooks in the house.
that was fun. I did. I think one of the events that I thought was an absolute blast was the rodeo,
Yeah.
and
I wasn't there for
how
that.
I about pulled a hammy and pulled my arm out of the socket trying to get Brett Deasy up on the big Brett.
Skip.
Trying to get Skippy up on that damn bull. It was there was a lot of leverage involved, and we got underneath there. We got him up on that, and
For
momentum took place on the mechanical bull.
Yeah,
and
Pops had to
momentum-
get all up in there.
I had I had shoulder into a place where I didn't really want to have it, but he got up
Get a
there
better
and
look at a
momentum took
T-bone.
over. Momentum took over.
Hey, for those of you who don't know Skip, who are distance like Mark from Chicago, we hope you can come down and meet Skippy. He's a fantastic guy.
He is.
It is a must visit, as Oliver says, and it's an Atabay, Byron, and Bandolero is a must smoke when you're here as well.
Yeah, you will smoke those.
Just a quick shout out, real quick, to the person that actually isn't legally here. Let's just say thank you to Chris Pennington for making sure that that we can sit and smoke a cigar as Frakes Boys for the first time in a long time. So
And
thank
there,
you, Chris.
as we bragged about, or will soon be bragging about, the quality of the new, refreshed ICC. Literally, we need to do a grand reopening because this damn place is brand new.
Yeah. I mean,
is
he's,
special shout out to Ray Ray.
Yeah, Ray
Ray
is-
Ganchi.
He did an unbelievable job. I think we're seeing one of the pieces. I don't want to tell anybody about it because I want people to be able to come in here and go, something's different about this place. I just don't know what it is. But there's something different in here.
Can
Let's
you
see if
pick
can-
out what it
see if
is?
you can pick out what it is. But no, the last year what was really fun about the rodeo was the fact the barbecue was amazing and we had live country music in here that was great. All that was fun. But what was great was it was brought to us by a member
Right.
that had the idea.
Reg Frazier,
and
who
Reg
I think
Frazier.
is in over here. I think.
Yeah, so Reg brought a great idea to us, and him and Grady and some others really helped. And to have Grady, knowing he was a singer, but to have him get up there and just take his acoustic and go sing, damn, that boy should do that for a living.
Yeah,
I think he does.
He kind of does.
Yeah, but he's good at it. He
Yeah,
should.
he is. But Nate, what's been your favorite moment?
Other than the bum fights,
Yeah, other than the bum fights.
Yeah.
no, I had a blast. I mean, I think my favorite moment was the magazine release. That was just an absolute fun time, and we got to see everybody kind of open up. And I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the gentleman that was here. I'm just
Jeff Bolton.
Jeff Bolton. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just forgetting his name.
brother
Yes.
of the Bolton.
Michael.
So
Michael
talented.
Bolton. Yes.
So
Right.
talented.
But,
Sorry,
when we
Jeff.
first met him, he's a gentleman and just very professional guy. And then once the music was on, it was awesome.
Oh yeah, he
Yes.
was not professional.
And we've seen that a couple of times. I don't know for those of you who've been to a DJ night, but you really get to see people who walk in professional, well put together, and they walk out all ratty clothed, just sweating full of it. It's this place.
Now, I think if we
transforms.
talk about one of the DJ nights that we had that will be permanently burned into my skull is the pre-release when the Crux guys came down with Armand, and we announced the new packaging that your company did, and our members got to see that months before the industry did.
Can you do that dance that Armand did?
No.
65-year-old, $8 billion man.
Yeah,
he was busting a move. Yeah.
I hope that got in the
You can't unsee
it. got in the Facebook one.
Okay.
You
so
can't,
sorry, I was just doing the grab over there. So
you definitely couldn't unsee that.
Yeah.
And can we talk about Halloween Party 3? Mm-hmm. The Halloween parties are a reason to come to Dallas in October.
Let's talk Halloween Party 4 because we're at that point where we need to start planning for that. So what should what should the theme be?
We're on a 13-second delay here, so we just saw Brandon dancing.
That's pretty good. Kenny Frank, what should the theme of the next Frakes Manor be?
Wow, that's a good question. Let's throw it out to our friends out here.
I thought, my thought was, let's do a murder mystery.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Actually murder somebody
Like
and
The
then see who
Office.
did it?
Just one person in particular.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the sake of the enjoyment of everybody, one death isn't bad.
Who should we murder?
Everyone's got to vote for it.
Well, everybody's everybody's got somebody on the
It's like
list.
a
There's a
purge
few of them that have already checked
put it in. Who do we murder for this year's Halloween party?
Who's going to volunteer as tribute?
Nice.
Nice. What was that movie? To Kill a Mockingbird? That's what it was.
No, it
And
wasn't,
Frank,
you
dipshit.
idiot.
Wasn't it?
And Frank.
Oh.
They made a movie about that.
Yeah. Jeez, true story.
You're an idiot.
Life after the Rona. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's creative.
Ooh.
So I think there's a zombie element, it sounds like.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are going to be very, I don't know. It's not going to be very creative, but they'll show up with like Corona. That's like green beer. I bet there's going to be a lot of coronavirus.
Something to do with a lot of masks.
Yeah, stupid.
After like 2 get in,
You're all
we should have
going
said,
to
go
hell."
back home and change.
Thanks, Tony. You're going with us, bud. It's Dodd-Frank.
I did. I really did enjoy. Just on a personal, there's a couple things that happened. We are all about family. There's some things that happened just within amongst us. One, we have a new baby in the family.
A boy,
Elias.
the name lives on.
Elias
That's
is,
right.
is in the house. Well, he's not smoking
Wasn't
yet.
here, but
He spits a little too much on his cigar. Alessia, on the other hand, at 3, she's a pro, blowing smoke rings and everything.
Yeah.
But Elias, he's got to pick up his game. I mean, you'd
Kid
think
sucks, man.
at 4 or 5 months, he can't even walk
It's that
yet.
round
Can't
shaped
drive.
He just holds it. He's like,
Can't drive. He's like, oh, I mean, can't. It's
can't do
it's
nothing.
embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
You're telling me, bud.
But knowing that Oliver is in, one of the things that was a bucket list for me personally was a trip to Cuba, and went as a guest of Oliver and our friend Nelson Alfonso, who we hope is dodging the bullet over in Spain right now. But that
dodged bullets
was
in
an
Cuba his
amazing
whole life.
experience to go down and enjoy Cuba and the Habanos Festival. So
That was a special moment, probably for me, one of the most special, because as we were in and we had this raging fire pit out back with Nelson. Nelson comes up from Cuba, cuts a meeting short with Habanos to come up here to be a part of Friendsgiving in
Right.
his first ever American Thanksgiving.
that we had to explain to him what Thanksgiving was.
And to figure out that really his company, Atabay, is based around a Thanksgiving feast, just from the Taino Indians. And to have him come up here, that was awesome. It was awesome because they show up. Go ahead.
One of my favorite parts of this year, actually, that brings up the point, was you translating the story of Atabay out of the words of his mouth, and then you getting distracted by how cool the story was, and not knowing if you were actually projecting.
I'll say Cuban Spanish is a lot different than Mexican Spanish.
Is that what he said, Brandon? I think so.
We got to the end of the first phrase. He was like, okay, it was like double rope. You kind of jump in. It's like, oh, we're at it now.
Yeah.
He just started talking, and we got to the end, and I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. So I just made a joke, and it was like, oh, what was that again? Ha ha. Didn't know what he said at all. And then I went through. And the worst part was Ale's brother Pancho and Ale, and we had a couple native Spanish speakers, were sitting there. Like, if I made this wrong, I had my fact checkers right there. So yeah, it was cool. And I'll never forget, because we're like, oh, these guys are coming in. We are setting up out here, so we can't have anybody back here. So we're gonna have a fire pit at your house. And we're gonna have a fire pit with Nelson Alfonso, the owner of Atabay, and we go in there, we turn it on. We're like, oh shit, doesn't turn on. Doesn't turn on. So we look at it, and the pipe is clogged because you haven't turned it on all year. So there's a spider web in there, and so then it turns into, fast forward 20 minutes later, we have ripped, completely disassembled.
It looks like a yard sale.
There are rocks everywhere, all over, in a trash bag, and we're disassembling this. We don't know how this works.
No
and
clue.
we get the text.
It's only fire and gas.
20 minutes out, we're on our way to the house. So fast forward 5 minutes, we are literally spraying brake cleaner into this pipe and just trying to purge this out, getting brake cleaner on all over our face.
Yep.
We look like reverse of a crackhead. Just black, just all over the place. Sorry, but then we fast forward again, and we get this thing, we put it together, and it starts working. We put it all together. I'm putting the rocks on just as they're walking in, and they come out ready for their stick, and we turn the fire pit on, and it looks half the size of this.
Yeah.
like a baby trying to blow a candle.
It looked like a baby tried to make a Bic.
Yeah.
And he comes from Cuba, and it's freezing balls outside. And he's sitting out there acting nice, like, ooh, nice fire. So,
yeah. We have better fires than this in our socialist country.
It was definitely a socialist fire that night.
But it was great because he was there. He didn't want to screw up his Thanksgiving meal, so he had Begley put the plate together for him because he didn't want to put the food in the wrong order. He was afraid he was going to screw up a tradition by putting the turkey down first and then the potatoes. He had a great time.
That was cool. So what's been everyone's what do they miss most about here? Aside from, I mean, legitimately, aside from, or for your lounge, if you're not in this area, you know, what do you miss? Aside from, people and camaraderie and smoking cigars, what is the one element that's distinct that you miss from smoking?
Are you asking them?
I'm asking everybody.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys' words are hard, you know.
Yelly's
here. We did learn a lot about chocolate this year.
We did. But yeah, I was going to say one thing, that when we went to dinner with Nelson in Vegas was probably the coolest time.
That was special.
We shut the restaurant down. We smoked where we
smoked cigars
we smoked cigars where we weren't supposed to, but they actually, we had 3 waiters that they just went through. Okay, well, his shift's done. We're gonna go. Nobody else is in the restaurant.
It was like
we're sitting having cigars.
1 in the morning. I fell asleep on the chair with
with the wine glass,
with the wine glass, cigar in my mouth.
Yeah. Dinner started at 7. 1:30 in the morning. We're smoking cigars at a restaurant you can't smoke in.
Yeah,
but other than that,
he was just telling stories about everything he was doing, and every time Nelson talks, it's just everything's interesting.
It's like, dude,
you're just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
If somebody talks, you go,
you guys were nerding out over label processes and packaging design because you were in the midst of it.
Well, when he was talking about the fermentation and stuff, it was just so cool when he was talking about the extra rooms and stuff that he has. Mm-hmm. I was just I knew he said he had other rooms specifically for certain stuff, but he was getting into real detail with it. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Mm-hmm. But just the way he's fermenting stuff, the way that nobody else ferments the way he does. So it was.
Oliver just said, Elliot keeping me out till 5 a.m. You know, Elliot has the ability to stay awake for 72 hours straight. Doesn't really bother him.
Yep.
And we walked out of that restaurant, and all of us did we're going to go to the bathroom, and it was just Elliot, Nelson, and Oliver, and we just never came back. Those guys were. I'm sure under his breath, Oliver was going, "You sons of."
Not under his breath.
Out
The
loud.
next day, he's like, "You motherfucker! You left me to die. And we told you. We told you. We're gone. We're going to the bathroom."
Yeah, we're not coming back.
That's exactly
Spumoni.
it. Spumoni. Yeah, you're exactly right. You know what I miss the most? What I've noticed when I'm smoking at home? How much you taste of a cigar inside.
Oh, yeah. that's
Night
true.
and day
I
difference.
miss that taste of a cigar. In the
You don't realize how
experience
much
of it.
flavor comes from
Yeah.
smell.
And
that's
how much
that's
wind is
huge.
heating it up. It's getting too.
It gets
Yeah.
bitter. It's
Yeah.
more bitter outside. It doesn't smoke for as long. The flavor's not as good. It's all well and good. We've got to do what we have to do, and we started smoking cigars outside for many years. But
right.
I just and it doesn't hurt that this is one of the tastiest cigars I've ever had. Period.
I'll tell you, for our first go around, the cigar itself is an absolute winner. I was shocked to find out we sold 3,000 in a pretty short period of time, and the good news is we have more being made. Plus, we're working on house stick number 2.
Yep. House stick number 2.
We've been
exciting.
we've been going through a lot of reviewing processes. One of the guys actually said on Saturday at the shop that we should go through that tasting process for virtual Cigar 101.
Maybe we do that where it's smoking outside. You know, maybe we just have a get together that teaches a little bit about maybe maximizing the way that you can get flavor out of a cigar. You know, cold, making the upward draw.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well, and
things
that's kind of the
bitter.
tip of the Dave is the smoke something a little bit stronger outside because you need to impact your palate more because you're missing what we're getting right now with these cigars.
For those of you sitting there wondering, are we open? Yes, we're open 10 to 7 every day. We make local deliveries at 4. It is, we're always open on industrialcigars.co. And
I'm very happy with the reaction that people have had to the deliveries. You know, I realized that with COVID, but when you show up at the front door and a guy comes out and gives you a hug because you're giving him cigars, you just take the chance that you're going to get it.
I'll be hugging on
No,
me.
but I mean it's been great to
Yep.
to be able to reconnect with a lot of guys, and we've done 25 plus deliveries in the area, so that's been great.
Oh, yeah, more
It's only a
than
couple weeks, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, so thank you for those who have put in orders on the industrialcigars.co site. That's really cool. I mean, it's a project that we wanted to put together for now a year.
Yeah, this definitely forced us to do it, but
I think
there's
we
a
have-
lot of guys that you could jump in and do it, but we're not. We try not to do it
And
wrong. We
kudos
try
to
to do
this
it right.
guy because he put in a lot of time
Yeah,
to get
you
that
and
done.
your
And it
team
was-
threw up a hell of a
That's
site
Gabe
in 2
Harris,
days.
Gabe
Yeah.
Harris
Gabe
and Biz shooting. Kevin Deal in the house. I hope we have both deals here so we can have that. Kevin, get
Oh,
your
it's a
brother
deal.
to nice.
Yeah,
Get your brother to do a little watch party here, huh?
yeah.
No, this is a cool time. I mean, it's something we'll never forget for sure.
Sure.
You know, we're approaching our 3rd anniversary in September, and this year started out gangbusters, and it's unfortunate that this has happened, but I think there's so much now pent up demand. Like our friend Chuck Walls was saying, he will not cook in his house for the next year. He is so sick of cooking that he will go to a restaurant every single day. And I think there's a lot of people that are dying to get back out and start spreading their money back out in the marketplace, and that's great. We just need to see conventions coming back. We need to see a lot of things start to come back, and I hope it comes back sooner rather than later.
Yep.
But this big old steam engine was going uphill pretty fast, and it stopped.
And we'll
now
be
we
back
gotta-
at it. And so I don't know how much. I mean, for those who are willing to sit here with us on a Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock now,
Yeah.
to just sit here and smoke. I mean, I kind of want to talk through a little bit of what our next vision is, and like come together and do some brainstorming here, because this is just like what Smoking Cigars was before. This was a place as we got to dream a little bit.
Right.
Like what should we do next? I mean, we know we have a good idea of what the next plans are, but
Yeah.
what should we do next?
Yeah.
What would you guys do in a perfect world?
Well, I know we haven't done it yet, and I still haven't gotten the plans all finalized yet. But the golf course or the golf tournament that we're going to end up doing in October is going. I want to do it big and do it right, and that's something that we haven't done yet. So it's something that if we can get the right sponsors to be on the holes and have amazing value added at all these different locations, different sponsorships, then it'll be something that we can grow on for years to come. So that's something that I'm excited about and still finalizing. We're looking at doing it up in Gentle Creek, up in Prosper.
Cool.
And so it's a nice little area, spread out course, beautiful course. But
Golf tournament. Golf tournament in October. Nate,
be
what's
fun.
your perfect world look like for us for kind of our next steps?
I don't know. I mean, I'm always curious on how we're always going to expand on our events that we do. But golf tournament was definitely a big one. We get a lot of people asking for it, and I was always
Go a little bit louder.
curious
Speak a little
when.
bit.
I know what I want you to do. Some cigar reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Who wants to
So-
see Nate do some cigar reviews with Tony?
That'd be
I've
fun.
been dying for this.
Yeah.
I want you to be in front of the camera more often because
Your palate is so much better than you have. Excuse me.
What, you
have
got
a
the
gift.
Rona? Jesus, man.
I got it.
Cough in your elbows.
But no, but your palate, you have the ability to smoke a cigar without a label on it and pick it. You know what it is. But Nate has a really, really good way of not only identifying the cigar, but explaining it. I think that's critical. I think the other thing Nate and I have been focusing on a lot is what new lines to bring in. There are some cigars there are some lines that are on their way out, and the addition of Grand Habano. A couple of those, the blue and green and the black Dahlia have been absolute winners.
So
Sonata
really-
has
these
been
are-
fantastic for us.
These are actually really good ideas. Klaus says having yoga. Yoga could work. Like if you bring
Let's do
in
goat yoga
baby goat yoga in the back.
Yeah.
Bikram yoga. Let's get it with hot goat as yogurt.
Yeah. And Oliver's might win Nerf gun tourney.
Ooh.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
That sounded
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
There's a place.
The
not
loser's
far
going to
from
be in
here
a
that
real
does
gun
it.
tournament.
We want to do it here.
That was another fun. I can't remember what event that was, but Oliver was here, and he brought. Oh, it was your birthday.
Yeah.
And he brought a Nerf gun, and he stood sideways, and we were just shooting people with the Nerf gun. We were And he aiming stood for the sideways cigar. like, "Hey, shoot the ash off my cigar," and I popped up and hit it. He needs to pull up that video and post it on.
Please
thing
post
right
that,
now,
Oliver.
'cause that was awesome.
JP's in the house. We just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, JP. These cigars we're smoking are the only house sticks that all of us have collectively. This is from Jake Powell. He actually reached into his kind of deep freeze, so to speak,
Yeah.
his humidor of special cigars not to smoke. These are first edition, first run house
You know,
sticks. they're brilliant.
and one of the
Nice.
things,
Yeah.
that's pretty much perfect.
Damn.
I want to take that home. But Jake actually had a great, we were having an interesting conversation. He has really gotten into the hobby of aging cigars and likes to, he'll date a box when he buys them. Sometimes he'll buy two. One he puts in that deep freeze that you're talking about. And he'll smoke some cigars when we first get them, and then he tries them again a year later after they've been aged in a perfect, keeping it out of the heat and keeping the humidity correct. But and that's a real interesting kind of hobby to get into is the collecting and aging of cigars. We know Brian Burnett has a phenomenal collection. Carlos has a phenomenal collection, but I think that's just an interesting thing. This group that we're now working with, some would say whiskey, those guys are professionals at collecting. They just have walls and walls and walls of
We have
bourbons
some
and whiskeys.
really cool stuff coming out with that.
Yeah, and we're so excited about that with Rodney and his team. In fact, I was excited that Jalen Smith, who's one of our members, we have his sunglasses, and they did a very, very random drawing on their deal, and we donated that because so many of their members have connected with us and have bought a lot of stuff from us. But what's cool is Jonathan Vaughn, one of our members, actually ended up winning the glasses.
Pretty
so
cool.
That's been great. So
if I could do a little dream in here, when I look at it, what are the next phases? And we always ask this question. Ultimately, what are we going to be? Who are we going to be, and who are we going to be remembered by? And what we started out to be is a destination cigar lounge that will be a legitimate place where people can plan vacations to go be a part of.
Right.
That's going to require a freestanding location. That's going to require consistent education and entertainment venues. But for me, what I would love to see, and I'm looking forward to that time where we punch a hole through that wall, and that becomes our indoor-outdoor patio space, all covered, but real kind of rustic. And then there's a speakeasy element to the back,
Yeah.
where you have 5 drink choices, and it's going to come straight from the barrel.
Straight from the barrel.
Straight from the Blanton's barrel, from the JD barrel, from whatever it may be.
Right.
And you set it up, and you have an experience that is very unique to a cigar experience. That we can figure out how we best utilize that, and then take that and go a little further north, where we can make a space that is like that building we saw in Mexico.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of that horseshoe. It's open courtyard in the center. There's a rooftop element to it.
Yep.
Whether there's a bar or not, I don't know how that would work. But
Right.
I see coffee and chocolate and all these things that work well with it. Good wine with Fortunata. All of these different places. So there's going to be a hotel that if it's not next to it, they're going to go, oh shit, we need to be next to
Right.
this business because there's enough people there.
I think what we've done is I don't know that most cigar lounges, I'm just going to throw most out there. I don't know what percentage it is. Maybe you guys have done the math. But we actually take this desire to entertain and make that an obligation that we want to make sure that we're fulfilling to our customer base. There's always something going on. We always want something to go on. We want this to be something other than the utility of just sitting and having a cigar. And so I think it's the venues that if we can expand our venue, our size, building in the stages, building in some of those elements, I think the outside aspect of it is big. That will enable us to continue to take things to the next level. What does frustrate me is that we have events that literally 400, 500, 600 people would come to, but you start dealing with space issues.
Right.
So
Concierge
for
service.
us, it would be great to be able to continue to escalate that.
And Sean Rath's actually 928 specialist of,
The man.
the man when
Yeah.
it comes to Porsche 928s and just automotive. I think he's going to have his place in history. But he said put it up in Denton. But you remember when we were dreaming up that deal where somebody could come in and it's glass walls, then someone could come and get their car detailed and kind of
Right.
sit in there and. Then you look at it as a wasted space. If somebody pulls in and somebody's not getting their car, but what if that was an extension of, maybe that's an extension where someone could sit in the loading bay, so to speak, and they could sit in their tables around there, but then it becomes a space where we can detail cars.
Right.
It'd be cool.
That'd
Yeah.
be super cool.
It'd be
Yeah,
really,
it'd be
really cool.
I'd like to have a rooftop.
A rooftop.
Yeah.
Rooftop smoking. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
lots
that's a
of-
disadvantage is not having a patio right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll just deal with it. If we can make some of these other things happen, then that becomes a possibility. That all of a sudden that enters the realm. So it's one step at a time, and we're open to anything. We're open to any suggestion. I hope we're listening to our customers and trying to. A lot of times we're just listening to them, being happy about what we are doing. So we
Or
always
making
want to push
changes
the
on
envelope.
things they want to see changes being
Yeah.
made on. So I want to say this for anybody that's watching, cares enough to watch it, but if you have suggestions on the way that we can change, please come to us with it.
Yeah.
Because we can make the changes occur that you want to see, in your lounge. It's much better to just come to us and let's put a plan together to bring that
Right.
to life. If you have good ideas, and shit, all our best ideas in this place were in ours.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I think expanding the Cigar 101s, car shows have been great, but I really would like to expand the 101s. The one thing that I'm seeing with a lot of these guys that are on, some would say whiskey, is they want to get into cigars, they just don't know how to start. So one of the things that we were talking about back and forth earlier today was let's we can do it for someone, say whiskey, and if this group wants to do it as well, we can. But just introducing cigars in general and just talk to people similar to the way we talk to them here when they go, I'm a newbie, I don't know anything. Well, let's talk to these guys and see if we can expand that, because everybody wants to learn, and it's funny how we'll get people that are going, I've been smoking for 20 years and I learned something. So let's constantly stay on top of that part of the aspect.
Yep, I agree. We could also, as Oliver says, we could put together an escape room just for Jake Powell. So that would
He
be good.
usually needs one because he's usually in trouble.
We do have a straight jacket for him. We just haven't given it to him yet.
Yeah.
Stock
It's
pond.
ICC logos on it too. So.
A stocked pond.
Stock pond with
Oh, I'm
lounge
for
chairs
that.
and fishing
Yeah.
rods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, FC Dallas.
So basically what we have to do is just have Bass Pro Shops go out of business, and we'll just take that and make it the ultimate cigar lounge.
And they have that little spot in there that we just throw some.
It's got fishing already in
Yeah,
there.
just
It's got fishing.
Yeah.
big bass in there. As long as we keep them alive, it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
That's good eating.
I rip lips out. Set the hook, dog. That's
It's usually seaweed that comes up.
I would
I'm not
like
a
to
good
do.
fisherman.
I would like to do an ICC striper fishing trip.
That'd be cool.
And just get whatever we need, 3-4 boats out there and go out and do it and come back here and have a fish fry of all fish fries. That would be a blast.
Philip Mathis, still a newbie. That's all right. We
We
learn stuff every day.
Hey, but anybody that's gonna make the commitment to drive here from BFE, Texas, he's from where Sulphur Springs.
Easy for you to say.
Barely.
No, that's cool. I think this is a good time for us to reevaluate what we're doing, what it is. But more importantly, everyone who's kind of tuning in here on Instagram and Facebook, this is just a good time for us to smoke a cigar together, because shit, when's the last time we did that? Just sat and smoked a cigar.
Well, when we review cigars, when we have vendors that are coming here giving us cigars that they want to try to get on the floor, man, everybody thinks that that's that part of the job that's really awesome. People don't understand there's a lot of bad cigars out there that we got to wade through in order to find the good ones.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always good.
And it's not always good to have to break that news to people. We had somebody that reached out to me a couple times. Hey, you bringing in this line? And to break the news because they're a big fan of that line of, I'm sorry, but it's not going to be here because it didn't perform in this price point. It simply can't stack up.
Right.
And there are a lot of cigars in there ruin it for other people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's just, when you can smoke a La Galera at $6 or a Principal Accomplice
Well,
at
the
$8.
officer, the sheriff that came in today, he came in, he said, I was Padron 1964, you weren't going to tell me anything else. And he came in and he tried a Brendil, the Principal Brendil. Came in today heartbroken because we're out, they're gone. But he's on the Patria. But that's a guy that was, you weren't going to change his mind.
Right.
And he ended up trying a Principal and was absolutely blown away by it. And that's now his cigar, and he's in that rut. But it's a good rut to be in.
That's a rut that you don't need to push out of.
No.
I'll stick in a Principal rut. I have been for a couple years now, and I can't get out of it. I can't get sick of this.
That's the thing is, what's your guys' kind of top 5? What's your top 5 that you just, when you
Speed
walk in the
round top
humidor, you
5.
go get them?
Real quick, Bull and Bear Gordo, which I don't like big rig gauges, but that one's up
Yep.
there. So, do we have to do it in order, or do we just
No,
say
no,
Just ram it off.
that we have in the humidor right now? So
Or-
the criteria on the
No,
front,
this
too.
is good. This is good.
What do you guys want to do? In the humidor or stuff that's,
Just 5 cigars.
whatever
Just
you got.
what comes to your what
5
comes to your
cigars from
way.
last year.
Yep.
Okay. Bull and Bear Gordo, Brendil, Tabernacle, T52 or CT
142.
CT 142?
Yep, that one.
Yeah, it's made a hell of an impact on
It's
you.
an awesome one. I do so good.
It is.
I can't even speak English. Third one.
That was the third.
Still,
That was third,
fourth,
Jesus.
still 1880.
Yep.
And then,
We learned this the second time in 3rd grade.
Atabe Duendes.
Duendes. Pops.
Atabey Duendes, Patoro XO,
Oh, I forgot about that one.
the Byron Torpedo, Never had it. Which is,
You've still never had it, right?
it's really good. You can have it.
It's in his top
sell 'em
five.
all.
I
so
actually,
fast.
Nelson actually gave me the first box, and
Yeah.
you're not ever going to have it.
Find
But
out
the-
how your
the-
brakes work when you leave
the-
the house.
What I go in and grab all the time, a Cochon Vallon from Principal,
Yeah.
and I really, I mean, I love the Crux stuff, but man, I'll go grab that Platino,
The
the
Patoro
Patoro
Black
Black Label Platino. I'll go grab that thing, and man, it's smoking really, really good right
It's one of
That
my
was your
favorites.
quickest 5?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Mine's
Well,
Bull
fuck,
and
at least
Bear.
I can count them. Shit, you did 3 twice.
I've had a couple glasses of wine today.
Yeah, should have drank all that cough syrup.
Mine's
You know what? Hang
Bull and
on.
Bear.
You used to drug us with cough syrup, and I didn't know that.
And
until
it
I
worked
had-
great.
Not until I had kids that I realized that
Yeah,
Dimetapp.
Dimetapp is the shit. Yeah.
You used to give us grape Dimetapp every night, and it was
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh,
I loved grape Dimetapp.
hated
Yeah.
It was a Robitussin. I
Oh,
didn't like.
that's what it was.
You
Yeah.
sons of bitches would sleep like a rock.
I never knew.
I'd give it to
drug
you at 3 in the afternoon just to get you to sleep at 5.
All right, so Nate, what are your top 5?
Mine was the Bull and Bear by Crux, the Toro. I love all of them, but the Toro is one of my favorites. The Principal Banquier, the Byron. Why am I forgetting the name? The
Aristocrat?
One, no, the one that Mike always.
Aristocrat.
Yeah, he's got the aristocrat.
The other
Honorable.
Epics.
Oh.
Epic
the Epic.
Poemas.
Yeah,
That one.
have
Recently
more of
was one
those
my
coming in.
favorite, But yeah,
supposedly.
That,
Oliver.
Oliver.
Thanks.
That guy.
That guy.
Real asshole.
Let's see. Damn it.
You're on number 3.
One number 3.
And 2, my lord.
Pick number 2 in the. Okay. Just say 2 more good cigars. We'll move on.
The Bandolero and Patoro Platino.
Yeah, Platino's smoking good.
What about you, Jack Wagner?
I'm going Osa Carboncito. I cannot smoke enough of those. 4x44.
Makes sense. You're a little fucker.
Thanks, man.
yeah, that's what it
Carboncito.
stands for, by the way. We're not.
Carboncito by Osak. The Crux Epicure Corona Gorda. The Principal Aviator series.
Oh, anybody can just pick the whole goddamn series.
Well, shit.
Well, if I knew that.
I mean, we knew the whole series was in
You
play.
said 5 cigars.
All right, I'll go Patrie. I'll go Patrie then. I'll go. How many more is there?
3 after you select.
2, my lord.
Two, my lord. EXO for Patoro. And which one has really grabbed me? I'll tell you what, that blue and green.
Yeah.
Oh,
That blue and green.
I had
has
that
been a great
yesterday.
Smoke.
I had that
Yeah,
yesterday.
Habano, I'll
I
tell you.
really enjoyed that.
I wasn't
Another
expecting
one
like
that
that.
they
Did you
mine.
have the
That's actually
Platino Corona?
No,
Yeah.
mine must have got
Oops.
lost.
It was really good.
Was it really
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, we're
Which
gonna have
reminds me, it reminds me of when Oliver came here and he brought this beautiful new box of first ever box 1 of 100. He gives it to you on your birthday.
Yeah.
And you're gonna save it forever and never smoke one.
Yeah.
And
then
we had this
Kumar-
conversation. Me and Nathan had this conversation. Never just.
I had
any
a
of
little
these.
bit to drink, all right? It was my birthday.
Literally 13 motherfucking minutes later, he's walking through with one in his mouth. You dumb son of a bitch.
He'll forget when he's like 50.
No,
put
I
a-
still
put a
remember
couple in
it.
there.
I think we got. I
It's
think
still
we
a
went
full
and got
box,
one and
it's
stuck
just
it in the box.
Yeah,
We-
it's still a full box.
It's
just
still
not the
square.
number
You can
one.
have that.
My number 5's the Aristocrat.
That's 6.
Now, one of the new cigars that I've been impressed with is the Espinosa, the La
Oh, I
Ronge.
do like all that stuff.
Yeah,
that
Espinosa's been doing well.
his stuff is that's a really good cigar. I like citrusy, and that's a really good cigar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
But, and as I said the other day, Saturday, during Saturday at the shop, I don't know if I said it on the show, but if somebody doesn't like the Bandolero, I will punch him in the face
Nice.
because it's punch in the face worthy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Smack your
Forgot
mama.
about
I will
that.
kick a baby.
Distinguido is, yeah, that's.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
good
that's-
cigars in this humidor right now. It's tough to pick 5.
Yeah, it really
Well, the
is.
fact that was an accident cigar and it turned out to be one of the best cigars in the humidor.
You're kidding.
One that we could never. We have some in, but we didn't tell certain people about that.
Yeah, there are certain cigars we just don't tell the people, otherwise they're going to be gone forever.
I'll tell you the other cigar, the cigar that's, I'm not a real full body cigar, but that, the Aladino Gran Reserva.
100% Corojo.
Yeah.
The original Camacho.
It's good, and they've got a Cameroon coming out supposedly later on this month. Once they can start shipping, but the Cameroons will be coming out.
Yeah.
But that cigar is really good. Our friend Doug Heisler made it impossible for everybody to get the
Cornered
number
the
4.
market, yeah.
He cornered the market on that and bought them all.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Hoarder.
Yeah, that's it. But so as we kind of move forward, here's what you can kind of look forward from us. We're going to continue to release new lines on the e-commerce system. Let us know if there are lines that we have in the humidor that you want to see on there. We'll make them live. Every week, with every $100 you spend, you're going to enter into a kind of a raffle.
Yeah.
That is, this week you can win a box of white label Lancero Cavalier cigars.
Limited edition.
Those should have made one of our top 5s.
Yeah.
The Cavalier stuff too, by the way, that should not have been left off the list. Those Salamones, that white Salamone, might be the best value in the shop at $14. It's
for sure.
ridiculous. And that little Robusto with the little
blue
pre-embargo.
label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
76 boxes of those we sold that he only did 200 boxes of.
Yeah. So we have a lot of new cigars. We have some private label stuff with a House Stick 2 coming out. We have the Osak or Casa Trent, whichever umbrella that falls under, for the cease and desist. 4x44.
Cavalier, actually, Sebastian talked to us about, he wants to create a cigar for us. And so does Regis, by the way. That's another one probably should have been left off the list. That Orchid, the Torpedo is, it's scary good. It's so good.
That shouldn't have been left off.
In fact, let's do a virtual release of that cigar, because we were supposed to release it, and then the COVID broke out. Let's do a virtual. We'll put them on the website at a special deal, and we'll do that. Let's do that later this week.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. We'll bring that to life, and they're available to sell right now.
There's 2 sizes.
Yeah, there are 2 sizes. We haven't put promotion on it because we don't want it to evaporate yet. So if you're watching, go to industrialcigars.co and put that in.
Yeah.
Pick up a box of those and then use
it's
box.
only 10 to a box.
Use box 10 for a code. If you're still hanging with us, then you should have that availability. Industrialcigars.co for our e-com stuff. But I'm looking forward to what this is. It's pretty cool to be able to sit and smoke a cigar, just us.
I am. We could also talk a little bit about accessories. I know there's some accessory whores out there, and you know who you are. But the addition of the Brizard line and some of the stuff that they've done for us from a custom standpoint is on point. The new Bugatti lighter, we just gave one away this week.
Yep.
But the Bugatti lighters have really, really done well. But man, the Brizard stuff is for guys that once they buy a piece that's got some unique, you know, whether it's ostrich or Cayman or whatever.
The new red, I think it's Cayman or
that Cayman.
Yeah. That thing is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's what I wish I would have had my case with. It's so everything's so cool.
The Orchid. Don't release it to the stalker. The Orchid. He loves those things.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. So grab them before they're gone, because you know how fast they go.
Yeah.
But keep your eyes.
There's a little. The other one is a Corona, and it's really good too. But I love the torpedo shape, and it's like a small Monty number 2.
It's like the Monty 4s, right?
It's like the 4s with the little torpedo on it.
Yeah, that's a damn good smoke.
But guys that are smoking, Partagas Series Ds and some of that stuff that are Cuban cigars, man, you're wasting a lot of money smoking some of these Cubans, particularly after kind of learning how the sausage was made down in Cuba on that cigar.
Keep your eyes open on what we're doing. Please give this a share. Catch us every Saturday morning for Saturday at the shop. I understand that it looks like we're on Saturday at the shop now. But we're going to start doing weekly reviews. That's what I'd really start doing. You and Tony every Friday doing reviews. We have Edgar Hoyle's ICCU dropping this week. I watched it today. 17 minutes. It really came together well. But we're not sitting stagnant.
No.
So
you can't. We never did. I mean, it's just this has caused us to do some different things, but we never sit still. It's we owe it to the cigar community, and you know, I think if we could just back up and hit rewind and look at what's happened, we're looking at this year, but I think it's been here since day one. Is the cigar culture that's here at ICC is like no place else. That was proven in the Smoke Shop magazine story, when you have somebody that comes in, spends 5 hours, and gets it, and to make a statement that there's no place like it in the world is a powerful statement. But it's that culture that I think a lot of cigar guys want, but nobody really cares if they deliver it or not. And for us, I think that's a big part of what makes the shop special. And we'll just continue to keep getting better. That's all we can do. Yeah.
That's it. Well, this is cool. It's cool. I think we should do this more often, because I thought we were gonna have about 2 people dwindling over here, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I like
see
it.
that. We appreciate the support. I mean, it could sit here and ramble on about it, but
I mean, other than Ty's watching, I mean, it was pretty good.
yeah.
He just woke up.
Oh,
He's retired.
He can't
Oh,
even
it's
go to
fine.
Costco anymore. His normal routine.
Lost. Guys lost. So
Yeah.
thank you. We love you. Tune in this week. Give us a share. Give us a like. Tell your friends, and we'll keep doing everything that's in our power, and be ready to party when we get back, because it's going to
Tell
launch.
you what, we're gonna light it up.
It's going to launch. So Thursday, Zoom. We're going to set that up. Anybody who has a Zoom line already, let us know. We'll piggyback off of yours. We'll do a little herf. Friday, let's do Tony, how about, if you're still watching, why don't you just do a review, or Nate, and then Saturday at the shop. So that's it. Anything else?
Let's do an orchard release. Maybe we can do that Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Sounds good. Love you. See ya later.
Later.